Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is what is the difference between subtract and exceptAll functions in PySpark. So first one, subtract. So to compare and subtract rows between two data frames. This operation is particularly useful when you want to find the difference between two data sets and retrieve the rows that exist in one data frame but not in other data frame. So it is similar to the SQL except class in that it returns difference between two data frames. So what is the considerations for subtract function is there are two considerations. One is schema compatibility. The schemas of the two data frames must be same. If the schemas are different, the subtract method will not work. Second one is duplicates. The subtract method does not handle duplicates. If you have duplicate rows in your data frames, they will be treated as individual entries. Second one is exceptAll. About exceptAll, I already created one video. If you go to my playlist, in PySpark playlist, you will find except. Yeah. So yeah. So this is the one I created a video on exceptAll. So I will show you in dashboard a few moments. So before that, we'll continue this subtract. So what is the syntax for subtract? Data frame dot subtract other. Data frame is the first data frame. You can say df1 from which you want to subtract rows. Other means df2, the data frame you want to subtract from the first data frame. Next, we'll see different scenarios. First, I'm trying to create sample data set for without duplicates. So this is my data, and if you see in this data, so I don't have any duplicate records. Okay, so this is my data, and I have these many columns, and I'm creating data frame using this data and columns. And if you see, this is my data. I have total 10 rows. Okay, 10 rows. So this is the data. So next one, this is the df1. Okay, this is the data frame one. So I'm trying to create one more data frame. So this is my data and this is my columns and df2. So by using these two, I'm creating this data frame. This is a df2. And if you observe, these column names are same and data types also same. You can see this data types also same for df2 and similar way for df1 also data types are common. So now what I will do is I'll try to implement subtract. So how I will implement subtract df1 dot subtract df2. So that means df1 I want to remove from subtract from df2. So that means subtract two data frames. So if I use this subtract function, I will get output like this. So in df1 I have 10 rows. In output I'm getting 6 rows. So how I'm getting is, see whatever this one, first one, that is df1 and this is df2 result data frame. And if I see records here, see this is for subtract function and I have records without duplicates. So this is the output. This is output is only uncommon records between df1 and df2. So if I see in df2, I have this first row like Jagadish Smith. Okay, so I identified as similar color. See this row it is available. So that means since these both rows are common, then it will neglect this row. Okay, so it won't print in output. So second one is Julia Williams 25. This one is a no. So here also we have. So then this it will neglect since both are common. So similar way, this one Sweta Anand 55. So here we have. So this also it will neglect. And fourth one is Mohan Rao 42 7. So these two are common. So then this also it will neglect. And other than whatever rows are there, no? Suppose this one Anand rows, Mukesh Bhatt, and these three rows. So this total here 4, 5, 6. These 6 rows you will get it as out. That means only uncommon records. So that is the uh, meaning of this subtract, how this function works. Second one is I'm trying to create sample data frame with some duplicate records. If you see here, this Saurabh, see here, this is repeated, and Mohan. So this also repeated. These two records are duplicate records. So by using this, I'm creating data frame. And if you am maintaining same column names and data types also same. And for DF2, I am maintaining same data, columns, data type, everything. So if I compare with first data set, we have only some duplicate records. So on these two data frames, I am applying this subtract function. Okay, so if I apply this, I am getting these 6 records. So we'll see how I'm getting these 6 records. See, I'm using subtract function and I have duplicate records, and my output should get only uncommon records. If you see whatever this highlighted, these two are common, so this neglected. Next, this one and this one, these two are common, so it neglected. Next is this one, these two are common, so this also neglected. Next, this one, and if you see here, we have duplicate. These two rows are there. Then subtract case, what it does is, even though these both are common records, since uh, duplicate, no, so it will neglect both the rows. See here we have 2 rows and it is common to here. Since both are common records, so it will neglect all 2 rows. Okay, and other than that, whatever uncommon records is there, this one and this one and these 3. Okay, so these records will get here. And apart from that, we have Saurabh, okay, and these two. These two also duplicate records, but this is not common record with data frame 2. Okay, so we don't have record like Saurabh. So what it does is subtract, it won't print both the records. So it will filter one record and will get only one record here. Okay, so even though it is not uncommon record, so since it is a duplicate, 2 times it is there, it will give only one time, one row. And if you see one more example, I have 3 records in first data frame, total four records in my first data frame, and in second data frame, I have 2 records. And if I use subtract x dot subtract and y, so this is my data frame, and this is my second data frame. If I subtract these two, and you will get output like this. Since you given collect, it giving in list format. So if you observe here, see A3, A3, this is common record. So A3, it won't print here. And C, none. So there is no common record between these two. So that's why it printing only these three records here. A1, B4, B4. Since I given sorted before that, it giving in sorted order. Okay, so next second example is I am using limit and subtract functions both. So for this, I am creating one sample data frame. This is my data, and I have three columns for this. And by using this data, I'm creating one data frame. So this is my data frame, and what I'm doing is this is df now. So this df I'm limiting to 3 rows. So total we have 4 rows. So in this I'm considering only 3 rows. By using those 3 rows, I am creating one more data frame, that is df1. So if you see here, we have only 3 rows. So now what I will do df subtract df1. That means my df is this one with 4 rows and subtracting with the df1, that is this data frame. So in this, since we created a second data frame by using this one with 3 rows, that means first 3 rows are common. Since it is common, so it won't print. So whatever uncommon is there, no, this one, it will print only that. Okay, so that's why df dot subtract df1. Since the three are common, it won't consider whatever uncommon record, that is printing this one. And next is subtract. So we'll see what is the difference between subtract and exceptAll. So in this topic, first we discussed about subtract, how to use subtract. And second one is exceptAll. So exceptAll, I already created video. So you can observe here. See this one, 81. So how to find difference between two data frames using exceptAll. So in this, I'm not explained about how to take care of duplicate records. So that I'm covering here in this video. So if you see difference, subtract function returns a new data frame with rows in the first data frame that are not present in the second data frame. And if you see exceptAll, except also does same thing, but only difference is it does not remove duplicates. So in subtract function, if you observe here, see here we have two records, but it not printing two records, it printing only one record. So that means it filtering duplicate records in subtract. But we'll see exceptAll how it will does. Means it does not remove duplicates, means we'll get both the records. So, and if you see the comparison between syntax for subtract, df1 dot subtract df2. For exceptAll, df1 dot exceptAll of df2. See, for now, for explaining to show the difference with exceptAll, I'm creating one sample data frame. So here I have these two repeated duplicate records, and I created this data frame. I have total 12 rows, and if you observe, these are the data types. And this is my data frame 1. And if you come to data frame 2, this is my values. So in fact, I took the same table only. Okay. So whatever I explained here, no. So in this second scenario with duplicates, so same data table I took here, means same data frame. So now this is data frame 2, and you can observe here same data types. So here what I'm doing, df5 dot except all df6. So earlier we used subtract. So now we are going to observe with except all. So it giving us this result. Okay. So this we'll see how we got this result. And if you observe here, this is my df1, this is df2, and this is my result. So here I'm applying except all function with duplicate records. And what output I'm getting is only uncommon records. So now if you observe here, this row and this row, since this is common, it neglects. And this second row, this one, so it neglects. And this one and this one, common, no? So it will neglect. Next, if you come to Mohan, this row, see we have two records here, two rows. So what it doing is it neglecting one row. So we are getting only one row. But if you see here, this row and this row, we have two rows, but we don't have common record here. Since common record is not there, it printing all two rows. But in case of, if you see subtract, this one and this one, here also there is no common record, but here it printing only one row in case of subtract. But in case of except all, it printing two rows. Okay, so whenever common record is not there, it printing all the rows. So this case, since we have common record, one common record it neglecting and other common record it printing. So this is the major difference between subtract and except all. So if you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.